Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and today we're gonna put a twist on an afternoon tea party that's gonna turn this Southern tradition into a dining delight. You know, if you thought wine was the only beverage to pair with food, you've just gotta come with me to the Savannah Tea Room, where we're gonna learn a thing or two about pairing for teetotalers. And then it's back to my kitchen where I'm preparing some of my favorite finger foods. And the first one is gonna be my specialty pickled okra sandwiches that are truly one recipe you're just gonna have to try. And then it's my pesto cheese blossom that's the perfect topping for any cracker. And finally, it's my cherry cream cheese tarts that are melt in your mouth delicious. So y'all take out your best china and get the water boiling, because right now it's tea time. Special tea party for a group of friends. Now, the kind of tea that I want to serve to them today, you can't buy from the grocery store. I want to get them a nice, special, loose tea. And I can only find that at the Savannah Tea Room because I want it to be very, very special. And I hope you'll come along with me because one day you may want to throw your own tea party. What are y'all doing here?
Mom. We just over at the new restaurant.
Aren't y'all supposed to be working?
Oh, we were
Hey!
just went by to check on progress, and we're having some tea. What are you doing
I wasn't
here?
expecting to see y'all.
Well, we weren't expecting to see you.
Ooh, what y'all drinking?
Okay.
Oh
good,
my
too.
goodness, and what y'all eating?
These are some delicious poppy seed cakes that they got here in town. Delicious.
I'm getting ready to have the girls over for a tea party.
Beautiful.
So Elizabeth's supposed to have some tea ready for me.
Okay.
So y'all on your way back to the restaurant?
Yeah, we're headed back that way shortly.
I ain't going back to the restaurant. I'm going to the golf course.
I'm with you.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Paula, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you? I was surprised to see those Dean brothers out there having tea.
I know, they're having a good time.
Yeah, they are. Well, do you have me ready?
How many people are you gonna have?
I think I'm having like 6.
All right, the actual tea you're doing is the green tea. It's sencha, it's pouchong, peach, rose, and cherry.
Oh, let me smell.
So that should go really nicely with your cakes and things.
Oh, gosh, it smells just heavenly,
Yeah,
doesn't
it could almost be a potpourri.
And it almost looks like a potpourri with all the colors in it.
I have everything you need and
That's
what you need to
wonderful.
know to get it going right.
Okay, great. And you got my tea ball and
The
everything.
tea
in
ball, the
That
scoop,
sounds
the
wonderful.
two tea.
I thank you so much, and
Thank you.
I'll see you before too long.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.
Okay, guys, I got my stuff.
You got everything you needed?
Yes.
All right.
Give Mommy a kiss.
Love you.
Love you.
I love you too.
Catch you a little bit later.
Y'all have fun.
I love you too. Oh, we're gonna have a wonderful time. I got lipstick all over you.
That's all right.
All right, now y'all going back to work, aren't you?
Right now.
You're going back to work.
We are. We're headed that way.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
See
y'all
ya.
take care of the restaurant.
Bye,
All
Mom.
right. Let's make our tea time.
2:30. Let's go.
How did y'all like Savannah Tea Room? Isn't it a beautiful little store? It actually brought back so many memories for me. I remember as a girl, my mother making tea out of the loose tea leaves using the little tea bags, and she made absolutely the best sweet tea I ever tasted. So I hope y'all enjoyed our visit. All right, now how many of y'all have had an okra sandwich? Probably not many of you. The South really loves their okra. We love it fried, we love it boiled, and we even love it pickled. Now, to assemble these sandwiches, it's so simple. We have just taken a piece of ordinary white bread, we have decrusted it, and we're gonna take our rolling pin and just roll them out real flat, like that. And you'll wanna take your bread and flip it over and turn it the other way so that you'll get all the edges down. Now at this point, all we're gonna do is take cream cheese and spread a light little layer over that entire piece of bread. And you might have to dig through the okra to find long enough pieces. I've found a nice piece in there, and I'm just gonna roll that up
just like that. And we'll do that one more time. Do the same thing with that. Now we're going to put one more light coating on the outside of cream cheese because we're going to sprinkle this with fresh parsley. You know that fresh parsley wouldn't stick to the dry bread. So we got to have something to make that parsley stick. Or that sounds like a good excuse to me to eat a little bit more cream cheese. So I've got some fresh parsley. It's already been chopped and we're just gonna sprinkle it. Now you could use dried, but I wouldn't recommend that. I really like the fresh parsley for these. Now when I plate these up, I wanna show you how I plate them. They're really pretty this way, but I really like to cut them at an angle and put them on the platter so that you can see the inside of the okras. And what a pretty little finger sandwich that is. They're so good. So delicious. I think your guests will love the unusualness of the flavors and the beauty of the little sandwich. Y'all don't go too far. Coming up next, the pesto cheese blossom. I'd like to share with y'all now the pesto cheese blossom. We're gonna start over here with just an ordinary glass bowl that's been wrapped in saran wrap inside of the bowl. So we're gonna start with one round cheese in the bottom, and then we're gonna come up here and we're gonna let it overlap onto that bottom ring of cheese. And you see how it's already taken the shape of a flower blossom. And then I'm gonna save these 3 slices to put on the top of our filling. Now the first layer that we're gonna put in there will be cream cheese. And we're gonna start by dropping a whole garlic clove into there. And then we're gonna add a few pistachio nuts. And then we're gonna add 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. You can see where all the pistachios and the garlic was just kind of slinging everywhere. We don't want to miss a bit of that flavor. We want to get every drop. Now we're just going to take that out of the bucket. We're actually fixing to make our pesto next. To make our pesto, we're going to use about 1/2 cup of fresh parsley and about 1/2 cup of fresh basil. This looks so pretty, doesn't it? All right, we're gonna put in about 1/2 cup of pine nuts, a clove of garlic, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna just let that become almost like a paste. I'll go ahead and add a little black pepper to it. Love the cracked black pepper. And you can just do this to taste. Now, I like quite a little bit of pepper in mine. And I'm gonna add just another little drop of oil while it's running. And that should do it. We've got one final layer to complete our blossom. The last layer to our pesto cheese blossom is going to be sun-dried tomatoes. Now we're just going to put those in the Cuisinart. And I'm going to add just a little bit of the oil that was on the tomatoes back into them as they're pureeing. Oh, I love sun-dried tomatoes, too. I just adore those. All we've got to do now is just put our cheese blossom together. I'm going to leave that right in there because this is actually going to be our next to the last layer. So I'm just going to put that right there and let it sit. The first layer we're going to put in is the cream cheese with the pistachios. And we're going to put about a third of that. And that's going to go in first, and we're just going to spread it on the bottom of our bowl, just like that. And you can see it's already got the makings of a flower. Looks like a blossom. The next layer is our pesto. Now, I think every time I've made this dish, I probably layered it together a little differently. So you can do it any way you want to. I've got the first layer of cream cheese, half the pesto. I'm going back with another layer of cream cheese. Just spread that out, just like if you were frosting a cake. And I'm going to go back with the rest of the pesto. All right, and then another thin layer of cream cheese. Looks so good. All right, now I'm going to come in here with our sun-dried tomatoes. And that red, when we slice it, that red is going to be so pretty coming through there. All right, now we're going to finish up with the last little bit of cream cheese. Looks so pretty and so festive. So before we seal this up, I'm going to take these last few slices of cheese and put them around like so. And then I'm going to pull the paper up so it'll form it into more of a ball. And then I'm going to just tie him up with a twist tie, put him back in the bowl, and put him in the refrigerator until he's set. Like I said, this is a great dish to do the day before. Which is what I've done. I have one that I made yesterday, and you can see how nice and firm it is. And you can see the sun-dried tomatoes have kind of run out. I have a few crackers to go along with it. And this really doesn't need a lot of garnish, maybe just a little basil, and you're actually ready to go. And what do you say we taste? Now, I like to cut mine like a pie, since it's in a round circle. Okay, here we go. Look how pretty that looks. And you can serve this with any type of cracker that you want, but you want to make sure you got a good premium cracker. It's so good and so savory. The tomatoes make it taste like a wonderful, rich Italian dish. It's just out of this world. It's over the top. I think you'll love it. Plus, it's pretty. Y'all stick around, go fix you a glass of tea, because we're fixing to make cherry cheesecake tart. I'd like to share with y'all now a simple little recipe that I was formulating the other night in the kitchen. So simple, so quick, and so easy, yet so delicious. And we're going to take 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese and about a cup of sugar. Now, this is a 1/2 cup measure, so we'll do that twice. And we're just going to cream that together. Then I'm going to add 1 egg at the time. And I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of vanilla. This is one of those quick, easy desserts that you can have ready for your family in just a matter of a few minutes. And they'll just love it, and it stores well. You can keep them and actually run them a couple of nights for dessert. All right, now I'm going to transfer this to a measuring cup so we won't make a mess on our muffin tin pan, because sometimes I get a little sloppy when I'm using a spoon. Now, the crust is wonderful that we're going to make for these with just absolutely no work. We're going to take an ordinary vanilla wafer. We're gonna drop that into our muffin tin, and we're gonna put the flat side down. Then we're gonna take our batter and fill that muffin tin almost completely full. We're gonna leave about 1/4 of an inch topping. This is one of those desserts that the kids will wanna come in and help with because it's so simple. Now we're fixing to run this into a preheated oven that has been heated to 350 degrees, and we're gonna let them cook about 15 to 18 minutes. In the meantime, I've got a pan over here that's been cooking, and the time is actually up on these. Look how pretty these look. Now I want to tell you something about the day I was formulating these and playing around with them. I took them out of the oven and I said, oh, they're so pretty. And I went to my pantry to get a can of cherry pie filling out, and I opened it and I turned back around and I said, what happened to them? They look like this. And I said, oh my goodness. And then I realized it was just perfect for what I wanted to do with it, because they all fell in the center and the cherry filling fits just perfectly down in that little hole. I thought I had made a big goof, and it turned out to be just perfect. They look just wonderful, and it's just the right amount because, you know, cream cheese or cheesecakes can really, really be rather rich. So this is a perfect size. Now I'm gonna serve these right in the paper, but when the girls get ready to eat them, they can very easily just slip them right out of their paper. And look at the nice little crust that the vanilla wafer made with absolutely no trouble. And you can see the pan that I took out of the oven has already fallen. They are so incredibly out of this world. Y'all stick around because I'm going to give you a few quick tips to help you along at your tea party. I want to share a few tips with you on tea time. I want to show you what an ordinary grocery store flavored tea looks like as opposed to what I'm going to be using today for our tea party. You can see how finely ground that is, and you're not really sure what you're getting as opposed to what I've picked up from the tea shop. Look at the beautiful tea leaves and all the different aromas that's in it. To brew a pot of tea, I'm going to simply put 1 teaspoon of tea leaves for each cup of tea that I'm going to brew. Just snap that shut, and I'm putting it into a teapot that's filled with hot water that's been poured in right before boil. I'm going to let that steep for about 1 to 3 minutes, and already the aromas are just about to knock me over. They're so wonderful. Now you can serve this tea cold as well as hot. And in order to sweeten your tea, you can have a simple syrup on hand, which is equal parts sugar, equal parts water, brought to a boil, and make a simple syrup that'll hang around. Just pour your tea over your ice and sweeten each glass individually. Now our tea should be ready, and you can see the beautiful color of our tea. Now we have several different choices on how we can sweeten our tea. We can use a regular sugar, we can use a syrup, or we can use honey. Or if you want to throw in a nice little twist, you can use sweetened orange rinds or pineapple, or just a plain sprig of orange zest or lemon zest. And mint is always appropriate in your hot tea. I think I'm going for the orange today. And I hope that you'll take the time to treat yourself to a nice cup of hot, fresh brewed tea. I can hardly wait for the girls to get here and sample some of the things that I've made for them today. The cherry cream cheese tarts and the pickled okra sandwiches and the pesto cheese blossoms, and of course that very special tea that I went and bought for them. I hope that I've given you some good ideas for a tea party that you're going to throw. And until next time, America, I wish you best dishes and love from my tea party to yours.